Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Sunday, May 3rd, 2020. Hope you all are safe out there, bringing you back-to-back videos. And you know I usually don't talk politics much on this channel, but tonight's a special night. I was just browsing, thought I'd bring you some said information pertaining to Washington, D.C., and it is about your notorious Mr. Donald Trump. Some people say he's their president. Some say he is not their president, but anyway, I'm going to bring you some information about Mr. Blockhead. CNN News is the source. Yeah, I said it. You know, I don't really care. Donald Trump turns the switch. Gone were the daily White House briefings with Vice President Mike Pence solemnly urging Americans to shelter at home to stop the spread of COVID-19 and governors to follow a slowly phased-in reopening plan. The 45 days of federally recommended social distancing ended Thursday. Now the Trump administration was all in on reopening America. Governors in Georgia, Texas, and Colorado, among others, were opening their states. The Senate was on its way back to Washington, and the president left the confinement of the White House, headed to Camp David for the weekend, and was making plans to travel around the country. Despite the warnings of health experts, President Donald Trump was no longer trying to hedge his bets, and one of the biggest gambles in American history was about to begin. In a James Bond movie, the croupier would be spinning the roulette wheel and saying, "Les jeux sont faits," the bets are made. As Peter Bergen noted, the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, went to Fox News to declare that the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus is a great success story, claimed that we have all the testing we need to start opening the country, and state his hope that by July, the country's really rocking again. At the same time, more than 60,000 Americans lie dead, more than the death toll of the Vietnam War, and more than 1 million have been confirmed to have been infected with the virus with no end in sight, Bergen wrote. There is widespread agreement among experts that we don't have the testing capability to return to any semblance of normal life, and also that a second wave of infections could hit the country badly later in the year. Will the reopening spark new outbreaks and lead to new shutdowns? Will they jumpstart an economy that is about as bleak as anything since the Great Depression? Or will Americans, as polls suggest, be too worried to venture into public places until they are confident that their health can be protected from the virus that causes COVID-19? Americans of all stripes are bound together by a common calamity, hungry for a unifying leader who will rise above partisanship, observed David Axelrod. But that is not Trump's nature. He has suggested that governors desperately asking the federal government for more testing supplies or acting out of political motivation. Interesting. Okay. Experts are in agreement that much more widespread testing is crucial to safely reopening the country, but the White House has opted to let the states take the responsibility for that. Incredibly, Trump is repeating his disastrous strategy from the first 10 weeks of the pandemic, when he acted as if coronavirus was a political and PR problem that could be fixed with empty reassurances and propaganda, rather than a public health crisis demanding smart and forceful action, wrote Frida Gidas. Parts of the country are starting to reopen, and it's a good thing, the editors of the National Review wrote. Overall, it's impossible to exaggerate the economic cost of the lockdowns, which have brought on a steep recession that we will probably spend years digging out of. This is why impatience is an entirely understandable sentiment, even if it's treated by the much of the media as heretical. I don't know what I'm reading. A balance obviously has to be struck. We can't stay locked down until the virus is entirely vanquished, or we will have destroyed the country to save it. That is the said information. There's more information below pertaining to Mr. Pence, and I'm not going into all of that because it's a winded, more storylines. I really just wanted to bring the said information about Donald Trump. There's also a cartoon in here where they're saying, Trump is saying, transmission accomplished. And the next one says, USA #1, with COVID in the background with a demographic scale. And then it has, putting the con back in contagion. And there's a little box that says miracle cure. And then the next box says, hey, lighten up. And it's Donald Trump holding a gallon of bleach. Said information is by CNN News if you need verification for the storyline. As I state, everything is about perception. Of course, naturally, we know we can't keep the country locked down for another 6 months or so, a year. That would be very detrimental to our country and our well-being and state of mind and physical well-being as well. But I will say this, it does not shock me that he wants things to resume, because as they state, for those who have been lucid and woke during this pandemic, he was null and void in the beginning. It was a ruse, it was a fake, it was a faux pas, it was a ruse, it was everything negative, it was nothing. And now he's ready to resume. And of course, he wants states to pick up the tab and worry about testing for its citizens, because he was done in the beginning, as he always has been. He has been vacant in mind and spirit and decency. The only thing he has been is vocal and visible, and that don't mean nothing to me. I knew when Cuomo was out trying to barter with agencies, pharmacies, or whatever to get testing, I knew that soon other states would have to follow suit and do the same. It's common sense. Will we be back by July on good? We don't know, because the doors of the church got to open first. Hello, Clarice. To see what will be, who will start to get sick, who will get sicker, who will die. Yeah, okay? And the fact that his son-in-law want to give his 411 to the Fox News outlet. Let me make sure I repeat this correctly, because I don't like to repeat something half-halfedly. Half and half. I want to do it right. His son-in-law, Jared Kushner, said to Fox News that the Trump administration's response to the coronavirus is a great success story. We have all the testing we need to start opening the country. And state his hope that by July, the country's really rocking again. Boy, bye. Well, as we state, we will have to see by July. Truthfully, I think we probably should wait till probably June, even though, I'm feeling antsy myself. I want to get out. I want to see the world. I want to do some things. There's some big things I want to do for myself in general, as far as work, as far as moving onward, as far as getting in the know, getting in the go. The queen got goals too, aspirations too. And it ain't YouTube. Ding! Let me tell you that right now. It ain't even about YouTube. It's about getting on to the big box. Hello? The big stage. So, a lot of us got goals. A lot of us got aspirations. A lot of us are antsy. A lot of us want air. A lot of us want to get out and see a game, a play, a musical, eat, dine, boat, yacht, whatever. Fly the skies. But without a vaccination, common sense, we are still risking our lives to be out cooping and people hacking and coughing and sneezing, and you don't know if you walked into the droplets, if it's airborne. You can argue that all day. As I state, everything's about perception. I wouldn't doubt that it would be airborne. The issue is because we didn't get it. Some of us didn't get it. Some of us have a pretty good immune system. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I can tell you, when I go outside, I feel weird, and I have acute sinusitis, so I'm going to have a weird reaction anyway to going outdoors. Period. That's just on the stack. But lately, my chest has felt heavy when I come in from being outdoors. It did not used to feel that way. That's why I feel like it could possibly be something in the air. And I have just been, by the grace of God, fortunately, not to contracted the virus or got any ailments that were visible, let's say, to lead me to go to the hospital. But I feel weird when I come in from being outdoors, and it scares me to death just to go do basic things, which is just to buy food and toiletries. I don't fraternize much. Check on 2 elderly people. I try to sit as far away from them outside. I try not to go into their homes. I don't like going into their homes. They always want me to come inside, and it's like they've got traffic coming in and out of their homes, so I'm just keeping it 100. I don't want to be going in nobody's house that's got traffic, because the people who are going in, they're not wearing masks. And a few I know of, and I'm just calling a spade a spade. So I don't need nobody else risking my health, because I want to do something civil as far as be nice to you and speak or talk to you. We're all at risk. and I take it serious. And even though I promote not going in, people's homes and things like that, but what I'm saying is I enjoy sitting out. So what I do is like to invite the people, hey, let's sit outside, but we sit far away, and I wear a protective scarf over my mouth. This article here by CNN News pertaining to Donald Trump turning the switch. He is a switch. Hello? Quit playing. I had heard something about this fool the other day about him not wanting to do any more briefings pertaining to COVID-19. That did not shock me. I didn't go look up anything to verify the story. I heard it by ear on a news report. I took it at face value. You understand what I'm saying? That doesn't shock me that this blockhead didn't want to do any more briefings because he had checked out in the beginning. He was already out. You see, that's what people understand about a person who folds quickly. They fold quickly because they didn't have anything invested in the first place. Yeah, call a spade. Homeboy never cared in the beginning. He has that type of mentality. He is narcissistic. He is egotistical. He is a puppet for those who can't think for themselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's a puppet. A big old blockhead puppet. I call it bobblehead. Bam. I don't care. Don't like him. Never had a problem with him beforehand until he ran for president. Then I had a problem because he talked too much. And that's something I don't like. It's a talking ass man. Yeah, I said it. You talk more than a queen, there's going to be malfunction. There is a malfunction. I don't like men who talk a lot. I just don't. I don't like men who talk about themselves all the time. And this is that guy. He talks too much. He toots his own horn. But what he's tooting ain't nothing. It's null and it's void, as I've stated. Because he's not about his word. And let me tell you something about life. And I can speak because I speak from experience. You are only worth your word. Because you see, if I can't believe in what you say to me, I cannot believe in what comes off your tongue, then you are not worthy of anything. Because you are worth what you speak. Because when you speak, you are leading people to believe that what you are saying is the truth. And if it is not the truth, then who are you? Do you understand what I'm saying? So this fool talks every day about nothing and has done so since being running for the presidency and being voted in, and tweeting and all that old type of nonsense that is so disrespectful and ignorant of a grown adult in the box of being empowered and leading the new world. It's ignorance and it's buffoonery. He is a buffoon. Grown people don't act like that. Like I stated, what Pookie and Ray Ray do, I don't do. And some of you are followers. You jump and do what other people do. That's what this fool does. Jumping, talking loud on social media, twittering about stuff that don't have anything to do with the country itself. See, a responsible adult doesn't act like that. They don't do what other people do. You lead by example. But he can't do that. Because he doesn't care. He doesn't have anything inside him to care. He's an empty vessel. And he is like a lot of people. And that's why a lot of people follow him. A lot of people rally behind him. A lot of people voted for him. A lot of people would still vote for him. A lot of people want him in office. But I say to you, you're crazy as hell. Bad boy needs to go. And the fact that he's checking out about doing briefings and don't want to discuss COVID-19, if that don't tell you where he stands on the livelihood of man and woman and children, child, baby, cat, dog, you see where I'm going? He don't care nothing about you. I keep telling people that. And to me, it ain't about a Republican, Democrat. It's about common sense. The man don't care nothing about himself. He think he walk around spitting people's faces talking, don't wear a mask and gloves. Vice President Pence in a hospital with no mask on. What fool does that? You see what I'm saying? Now you fall in acting stupid like your friend, the president. But hey, to each his own. Do what you want to do. I don't care. But I bring you this information to show you the man don't care nothing about the country. The man don't care nothing about himself. And as I've told many people, self is first. Self comes before anybody else. Come on with it. You see, if you don't care about yourself, you surely can't care about me. And you can't care about a child, a mama, a daddy, a sister, a cousin. You may say you do, but you don't. Because you see, you got to love yourself first. And not to want to continue to talk about COVID-19 is irresponsible and just outright disrespectful to the American people. And I am not shocked. And that's why I don't worry about Donald Trump, YouTube, Pookie, Ray Ray, neighbor across the hall, the neighbor up the street, around the corner. I don't care about nobody but Queen. Because in the end, I'm the one that got to worry about Queen. And I think a lot of people need to start worrying about themselves more. Because as you see, we're in a world where, despite all the shenanigans going on in Washington, D.C. with this president, local, state government, neighbors, friends, communities, you have to worry about yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Because some people don't have others to worry and contend to and about them. And in the end, you are going to be the one that has you. You're the one who's going to have to fend for you. You are going to be the one that's got to eat, sleep, work, maintain. That's why we have so many radical thinking people, people who are delusional, people who do not like following guidelines, laws of the land, because they are lost inside. Maybe never been reared properly, or they've had some bad things happen to them in life. Could have been 1, 2 things, and then they go all off the grid, and now they're mad at everybody, they're mad at the world, they don't want to contend with nothing, they don't want to adhere to anything, they think the government is the enemy, they think the state government is the enemy, the person across the street is the enemy, the person in the apartment building is the enemy, the person around the corner in the cul-de-sac is the enemy. You see where I'm going? It takes all kinds. We're living in desolate times, but because I believe in God and I know I'm highly favored, I try not to worry about any of these things, because I refuse to let anything with 2 feet, worry or Queen, keep me down. And I know that is the enemy's job. It is the devil's job. And I can't give him all that. He's taken enough already. And that's evident with COVID-19. The president has checked out, and I think most of you knew that. He would check out because he's been checked out. Said information, CNN News. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Thanks for joining me on this wonderful Sunday evening. God bless you. God bless all of you. Keep you safe. Wear your gloves, your mask. Put them in the appropriate receptacles when you are done. Stay safe. Stay clean. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Bye-bye.